the iPhone Ultra. This is going to be Apple's foldable device. And we've got an updated video from Front Page Tech. They've been the main ones who have been covering everything regarding the iPhone Fold. And just to kind of recap a few elements as well, it looks like we're only going to be getting 3 new iPhones in September. There's going to be an iPhone 18 Pro, an iPhone 18 Pro Max, as well as what's rumored to be called the iPhone Ultra. Looks like there's not going to be a base iPhone 18. It looks like they're just going to be reselling the iPhone 17, maybe at a low price, which may still be a decent deal. What do you think?
I mean, in terms of like the lower priced iPhone, that would be cool. Just because Apple this year seems like they are beginning to understand that price market, especially with the economy worldwide. So the Neo. So also maybe not upgrading that iPhone makes sense and introducing something very different on the high end. Now, I'm just kind of interested in the fact that they might be going with the name Ultra for the iPhone Fold,
Mm,
considering some of us will consider that device not to be Ultra because it has 2 cameras, right? And
that's true.
some of that thinking.
On the way to the studio, I was having to think about this, and I was like, will Apple actually call it the Ultra? Because that Ultra name has kind of been overused in the Android side, right? So you think about it, we had it from the S20 Ultra, right? I think that was the first time Samsung used the Ultra name. And then we've had Ultra, Ultra, Ultra for like pretty much everything, right? Now, Apple, they have the Ultra series chips and stuff, but they've not called a smartphone Ultra before, right?
No, no.
So they usually go with Pro, Pro Max. So I wonder if they will go with the Ultra name or will they call it something different? I don't think they'll call it an iPhone Fold because that's too close to the Galaxy Fold, right?
Yeah.
So I think Ultra does make sense, but then, we don't have any Ultra foldables, do we? Like, no foldable out there is called an Ultra right now. When we think Ultra, we think Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra, Oppo Find X9 Ultra, etc. So I wonder if they're actually going to stick with that name. That's the name that Front Page Tech is going with right now. So maybe that's the code name for it. Maybe we'll see. I mean, there's still a few months, so it could change. But
Yeah.
what are your like? What would you, if you had to guess one? What do you think we'll call it? We can look back at this later.
Um, you know, I feel like they could go back to the David, iFold. Like just something like that. Then
Hmm.
it's different enough, so it's not really like a foldable. It's like it's easier to roll off for people. iFold as opposed to like iPhone Fold. All right,
Hmm.
so I feel like that's something you could go back. This new CEO could be like, let's take that route and like bring a little bit some of that nostalgia back into the Apple for who knows. But I'm going with
Okay.
iFold.
All right. So you know what? I'm gonna Google different words for ultra. Extreme, super, beyond. No, okay. None of these are gonna work.
Nah, nah.
I don't know. iPhone Elite, iPhone. Well, let's know what you guys think the foldable iPhone is going to be called. But it looks like it's pretty much guaranteed that we're going to be getting it in September. We've already started seeing some leaked models of it. Apparently, according to Front Page Tech, the crease depth is just going to be 0.15 millimeters, which means it's going to be minimal. And it might be close to the zero fill crease that we've seen on the Oppo Find N6. And this is thanks to a liquid metal hinge designed with 3D printed parts. So, this is sounding very familiar to what we've had with Oppo's marketing for the Find N6, should we say, right? And since the previous leaks and rumors that we covered, we have a few changes, right? So 48 megapixel main and 48 megapixel ultra wide camera. So it's just going to have 2 cameras at the back, not a telephoto camera. It's going to have a selfie camera, which I believe is going to be center stage on the display. But the new rumor is that the folding display will have a camera, but it's not going to have a cutout. So it's going to be an invisible camera, so basically under the screen. Now, this will make it interesting
Mm.
because, yes, we've seen that before. We've seen that on the previous Samsung Galaxy Z Fold devices, and I've never liked it because the quality has just never been that good. So, have Apple kind of solved that issue of quality for under display cameras? I mean, this may or may not happen. Apparently, there are some versions that people have seen that don't have a camera. Maybe they're playing with the idea. Maybe they're not going to actually go ahead with it.
Yeah.
But I've never really been a fan of under display cameras. What about you?
Nah, it hasn't worked. There's been no effective way to fully turn off the pixels, but it's not even just turn off the pixel. There is still something in front of the camera, which basically impedes the camera, no matter how you, I mean, there has to be, it has to be something where when you take the photo, then there's a lot of like work digitally to remove almost that haze that is in front of you with it.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure they're probably looking at it and maybe that tech has probably improved since Samsung had it last, right? I think that it's probably improved, but I don't think for Apple, this is something you don't want to go either that ultra naming and
Mm.
then have something that isn't ultra on there, you know?
100%. I agree.
Yeah.
I think maybe they're just testing it out, and that's what some people have seen, but I think they're still going to go with the cutout. Now, one interesting rumor that's been shared by Front Page Tech is that they're going to be reducing the size of the display driver, which means we're going to be getting a larger battery. And that rumored battery size is 5,800 milliamps, the highest of any iPhone, and larger than what we've got on Samsung's Z Fold 7, right?
Let's just call it this way. It's the biggest battery you've seen on any iPhone or Galaxy device.
Yeah, there you go. You could put it that way, right? Now that brings me on to the question: are Apple going to use silicon carbon for this?
I don't think so. I mean, he reports is high density, which they've been playing with, and even Samsung has started
Hmm.
been playing with that too as well. And they can achieve it because remember it's split batteries. So if you do a high density on two sides, it's easier for you to get to that
Yeah.
5800 itself, as opposed to doing high density on your regular smartphone. Then you're increasing the width of the battery and it gets a little heavier. So I
Mm.
think it's
I
definitely
wonder.
possible
I
for that.
wonder if that's also the way for them to kind of get past regulations and stuff. Especially around Europe and stuff. If you've got two separate battery cells, then it doesn't count as a 5,800 milliamp hour battery. It'll count as a 3,500 milliamp hour battery and then a 2,300 milliamp hour battery, for example. I hope my
Yeah.
math is correct. But yeah, basically split between two. So then you're not getting that same, like large, massive battery. So that would be pretty cool if that's the case. It's still rumored to be relatively compact, so closed around 9.5 millimeters, and if it's unfolded around 4.5 millimeters, so
Yeah.
just slightly thicker than what we've got on the likes of the Z Fold 7 and the Honor Magic V6 and the Oppo Find N. A lot of these other devices, so pretty good. Performance-wise, it's supposed to be a beast. 12 gigabytes of RAM, A20 Pro chip, and the C2 modem. So 12 gigabytes of RAM. Obviously, this is going to be a device where you're going to be doing more multitasking, so you're going to need that extra RAM. So that should be pretty good. And with that C2 modem, it looks like, as we've heard with the rumors of the iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max, we should be getting 5G over satellite, which will be pretty good.
No, my question with that though is like, who's paying for that service? Is that through your provider or is that through Apple? And if it's through your provider, then it's almost a mute point because depends on what provider you have, you might not be able to get that service. Or is it something that,
Yeah.
you know, once you go off the trail in the wilderness and it goes off, then you get 5G and then Apple is offering that. So I would love to get some clarification on like how that plays out.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to worry about it because remember, we people like us don't go hiking as we established in the previous episode. So that's for other people to worry about.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
All right. Now, the other thing is that because of the thinness of the device and the way the layout is, it doesn't look like we're going to get Face ID. It looks like we're going to have Touch ID in the power button, right? Something that I'm personally not too bothered about. Pretty much all foldables have Touch ID. It'll be interesting to see how iPhone users who have been using iPhones for many years, right? So we've had Face ID from the iPhone 10, right? So many, many years. Going back to Touch ID, will that kind of feel like it's a step backwards? I don't know.
Nah, I think people will be fine. I think there's gonna be that uh natural motion of like, using it this way and picking up your phone for a while and then
Mm.
eventually they change. Although The only thing that would be interesting is where the button placement is because a lot of, there were some rumors earlier that Apple might put the button on the top because when it's open, it's more like an iPad, right? In terms of the layout.
Mm,
So if it's like your typical foldable, like with the Z Fold, where you pick it up, your hand's already there to use Touch ID, whether it's your thumb or your hand. But if it's the other way around, then it's gonna be a problem, just because there's almost no natural way to be like, hold it
yeah,
and then put the other finger on top type of thing. So, I think
yeah.
that's gonna be the tricky part if the button placement is different from where it is normally.
Well, let's see what that turns out like. Now, what I found funny was we heard these iPhone Fold rumors a few months ago, and Huawei has released the Huawei Pura X Max, which you've had some hands-on time with. What's funny to me is this kind of looks like, I'm not saying Huawei have done this, but it's almost like, oh, we know what the iPhone Fold or iPhone Ultra is going to look like. Let's just quickly make something that matches those dimensions, more of a book style foldable, and with the visor at the back, etc., and then be like, hey, we did it first, right?
I mean, true, but to be fair to Huawei, to give
Yeah,
them benefit of the doubt is they came out with the Pure X last year, which is
yeah.
also the same dimensions, flip style, but also slightly different, which I covered that device as well. And the button layouts is exactly how I complained, where it's at the top, and it was very tricky while reviewing the phone just to unlock it.
Hmm.
So so they changed it this time.
Yeah, it's interesting because yeah, I wonder because right now I was just in Barcelona, and then another YouTuber Jean Baptiste had the um Pura X Max, and then I was just checking it out. I was like, this looks like if I didn't know anything, right, and I'm coming from seeing some of the rumors of the iPhone Fold, it's like, hey, this is kind of like the iPhone Ultra that's coming up. So let's see anyway. Let's see. I hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to hear the full podcast episode, then that will be linked down below. And if you want to see more clips like this, then be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss them.